Studier. I'm here with What If Deku Was a Knight. And let's get straight into it, because I know you hate me bantering. Now, let's hope this thing is on. I think it is on. Okay. Deku is born in a certain kingdom, the Lost Kingdom, if you may. A sort of one that was never seen in the future. Ones that people cannot find, the remnants lost to time. But before that, way, way beyond that, maybe almost 700 million, not million, 700 years ago. It was a time where knights roamed the land. Plenty of knights. More than any other nation, actually, as the Warfend had funded it to stop from the bandits from interrogating it from its natural resources and also its treasures that it had won from its own wars. Now, to combat this, they had made many churches of which to recruit more knights. Now, none of them really cared about, the cause of the knights or even to be a knight, except for this one child, Deku, a sprite young man who wanted nothing but to be a knight. He said that he would train his whole life, give everything that he owns to it, but they said no, you have to wait until you're 10. Now, disturbed by this, once he turned 5 and was able to pick up a stick big enough to even hurt a physical thing, he started thwacking it against a tree. Over the years, the sticks got bigger and he got bigger. As he got bigger, until the stick was almost 3 times his size. Constantly against that tree, over and over again. Almost like everybody was annoyed by this, of course, because there was a cathedral over on the other side of the kingdom, not the kingdom, a village that he lived in that was part of the kingdom. On the other side of it was a cathedral that took up almost 1/3 of the whole town. It was huge, and where knights prospered. Thousands and hundreds of people would live there daily, worship and just live there. Serfs and all the people of the kind. One lord to rule over them all. Although there was, a chain of command for the knights. As the top commander said, as this thwacking happened, he happened to wake him up. He comes down to his royal court of lords and knight lords, saying that kid, he really needs to get a hobby. He wants to be a knight, right, my lord? Stop up with that my lord shit. I'm so bored of it. Just call me Arthur. Honestly, we already have the round table. You know we're best buds, right? We've been at this shit for years. Come on, Arthur. Thank you for at least calling me Arthur. But the kid I was talking about. Oh yeah, right, the kid. Ugh, right. What did you say he wanted to become a knight? But he would have to become a serf? Anything before a knight, at least. What was it? He hasn't even become a page. He wouldn't even become a page and then a frickin' squire. He has none of those. I know. We need somebody to distract him. He's only 7, right? That would be right, my lord. Arthur. Whatever. He's only 7. Whatever. If anything would... stop that goddamn thwacking. Alright, Arthur Jr. What is it, Dad? Oh, that was quick. The kid. He wants to become a knight. So what? I can't just make him become a knight. He needs training. That's exactly what I called you for. Are you sure about this? If the kid dies, it's your fault. I know, I get it. Just please, stop that insolent boy. He needs something to do. Give him it. Welcome into knighthood. But just please, stop it. At all costs. Fine. Send him a note. He's welcomed into the Knight Academy. Wait, what? No, we don't want him here. If you want to train him, he'll have to become here. Well, take him on your own then. Take him on my own? You think I want to take care of him? This is my order, son. Fine. Jesus Christ. Whatever. I'll just have him take my swords, but nothing else than that. I promise nothing more. Send him here. As Deku gets the letter in the mail the next day, his mother is quite happy for him that, a lowly serf's boy could, be messaged to become a knight. Well, on the trail at least. He still has to become, a page and then, a squire. But he's surely on his way to becoming what he's always wanted to be. Quite excited for her own son. His excitement only matched by hers. She says, "Go on now. Here's all your stuff. I'm going to miss you." "Yep, okay, bye, Ma." Just closes the door, just straight up runs straight there. He runs all night to the place, gets lost, some shit like that. Once he finally makes it there in the morning, they open up the gates and the church bell rings. As all the knights start to flow out, and in at the same time, all the knights that he had looked up to and wanted to be, all start coming back to him. He could almost cry right now, as he could memorize all of their voices, knowns, and all of their serfs that served under them. He was so excited. He had to hold himself back, though, as he was in a holy land. He cannot speak right now. As he walks in, he says, "Oh shit, I forgot my sword! Anybody got a sword?" They all start to kind of chuckle at him. He's like, that was probably rude. He just picks up freaking a branch from this tree in the middle of the huge the whole night school plaza, and just starts swacking against the tree because he's gotta get in the training again. Always. And then freaking Arthur Jr. comes out of nowhere, just stop, kid. He holds the thing. He's like, "You're only upgrading your body. I mean, you're only improving your muscular strength. You're not doing anything else." And he's like, "That's kind of the point, Arthur. How do you know my name, kid? What, are you kidding? You're one of the biggest knights around. You're Arthur's son, right?" Okay, kid, you're making me nervous here. First of all, correct your stance. Correct everything about that. You're holding it wrong. Use two hands, not one, and never hold it behind your back, for God's sakes. God. Frickin' Star Wars. Get your shit right. Now, Deku's like, "Oh, okay, geez." He's like, "Am I going to become a knight?" He's like, "No, you're only going to become You're only a page for now." "Aw, just a page? Come on, man. I just want to become a knight." "That is on the way to becoming a knight." "Fine, I'll be a page for now." "Fine? This is the law." Oh, God. This kid makes me so angry. First of all, I have to correct all your shit right now, but I need money first of all. I haven't done anything in the last year except talk to Lady Elizabeth. As he looks up to her, he kind of kisses his fingers as he throws it to her, as he bows and stuff. That's basically, you know what knights do? And she kind of like waves to him. Princess waves. And Deku's like, I don't get it. He's like, you wouldn't. For now, we have to adventure. As long as you remember your basics and hand me my weapons and carry my armor, we should be good. That sounds like a lot, sir. Don't worry. You'll get the hang of it in no time. 3 years sounds about right, doesn't it? 3 years? What? You haven't gone on an adventure? I didn't know it took 3 years. Well, it does. Come on, kid. As they go on their adventure, Deku learns all about being a knight and its code, and what freaking just basically humbleness, while also learning how to be, you know, knight skills, knight techniques, and sword handling skills. And then he has to, you know, go on to, you know, become an adventurer. He's actually signed up to be an adventurer by Arthur. And he gets this adventurer status, and he actually gets pretty far in that business. He's actually paid, and he's not used to this as a serf, but of course, you know, his lord takes 50% of it, I think. Or no, all of it, right? Oh shit, he doesn't make any money. That's sad. Sucks for you, Deku. Now, freaking Deku, after these 3 years, once they return, he's quite happy to see his mother. And he's like, can I go see my mother? Of course you can, kid. And as he walks over to his mother's house, and, you know, is so happy to see him, and she's like, I thought you'd be dead. He's like, wait, what? She's like, nothing. Just take the hug. So yeah, and he comes back to the knight's place, and he's like, am I now no. He says, not yet. You still have much to learn in the ways of being a knight. First of all, to become my squire, you have to learn the lance and horseback, which means we need to get you some war experience. He's like, war? I'm only 10. Exactly, which is the problem. And I can only make you a squire until once you're 14. But you've seen me in combat. Right. How about this? I'll give you a challenge. A challenge? Yes. Once you turn 14, I will give you a way to become a knight. Immediately we'll upgrade you from a page to a knight. Until then, you shall be going with me to the recent wars that have begun. I believe it's a crusade that they call it. A holy crusade. Sounds awesome. It's bloody. There's murders in it. Plenty of people dying. It's perfect for your training. Right. Once we get back, that challenge, it's all yours. Well, be ready for it. So they go off to the frickin' crusades and stuff for like 4 years and shit. Oh my god, does that mess up Deku? I mean, not mess him up like how you think mess up. I mean, just like he aged like 8 years instead of 4. He's like, mental age is way older now because of all the shit he's seen throughout the war and like all the bloody battalions trying to hold frickin' Constantinople and stuff. I don't even know how far back that was. I forget. Whatever. He just goes through sieges and stuff and crusades. He meets a lot of people that die and stuff. He has to deal with that for a while. You know, thinking about it, he's like, that's pretty bad. So yeah, going through all that, you know, it scars him permanently. Multiple ways, but, you know, becoming a knight is part of that. And he's like, that's pretty fucked up if you mean it. He's like, we do not use obscenities in the presence of God. He's like, but we're not in a church right now. Silence! He like chops him on the head. He likes chopping him on the head. He becomes kind of like a older brother figure to Deku in some way. So basically, after these, they return home, and he's got all this experience throughout wars and stuff, and on horseback. And he says, freaking. Once they return, he goes back to his mother, and he's not as happy this time, and she notices this, of course. But she just simply, wishes it off as, he's becoming a man and stuff. So he's like, what about that challenge now, my lord? Oh, right. That challenge. I had sent multiple people under my leadership to put the ring. The ring? Yes, I have put a ring on top of one of the mountains hanging on the treetop. Almost impossible to get, as it is in the cursed forest, where things that seem to have contracted disease, or holy smiting, as they would call it, a sign of a rapture. Things that have mysterious powers or mutations that seem to just disperse itself throughout the rest of that forest. It seems to curse itself. I see. That sounds insane. Of course, you'll be wearing armor, however, so you'll be fine. Armor, that's it? Just don't fight the bears. That's my one request. Request? That's a suggestion, not a quest. He's like, good luck. And he's like, what the fuck? No, what? That's not fair. He's like, go on. You got this. Congratulations. You are going to die, most likely. But do not worry. You will become a knight is almost guaranteed. So he's like, I'll do it. So he goes out to that mountain and survives for almost, 4 years? Oh my god. And while he's doing that, freaking Arthur's seeing, Lady Elizabeth like almost every day. They're hanging out and they're almost getting married and shit. After 4 years, he almost forgets that Deku's alive. He's just like playing chess with her one day, like taking her pawn and then putting her in checkmate. She's like, you always win this, Sir Arthur. Hey, that's Sir Junior Arthur. I don't want to compare you to your father. I wonder why. Don't worry. We'll be married soon enough, and you'll have to get rid of that name. Thank you. I'm not doing it for the name, however. Of course not. I wouldn't want you to. Oh, have I lost already? Distraction. So yeah, they're kind of like playing. They're pretty playful at how they play chess together. And she's like, "What about that boy you were teaching before?" And he's like, "Oh yes, Deku, I believe it was. He was interesting." Why do you mention him? Well, because he's out the door right now. As he sees frickin' this 18-year-old dude standing out there with shambling armor that's like falling behind him, and then like a knight's helmet that looks like it was taken off somebody's body, and like armor patches all over his body of like different armor. And he's like, "What the hell? Is that you, Deku?" He's like, yeah, I'm here. Oh. As he's like bleeding and shit. So basically what happened over that was that Deku out in the forest, there was quirked bears. He couldn't run away from them because they had a quirk that made them faster, which is the scariest shit in the world. Can you imagine a bear running on its hind legs at you, like straight up, just like Frankenstein? That would be the scariest thing ever. So it hunted him down, and all the animals did this. Like they all attacked him. He had to defend himself with his like dull blade and shit, and he barely made it out of a lot of the situations alive. Whenever he got hit, his quirk would activate, where it repaired wherever that was with patches of armor. And he kept on finding people that had been out there, like knights that had fallen, and he would put on their armor, patches of their armor that he needed to repair his skin, and it welded it to his skin. So all these different patches of armor, different suits of different flags are all, stuck to him. And these were actually people that he met in the Crusades. And because they had been in that forest. And he noticed, he remembered some of them actually, because this was their test too. But his was even tougher than theirs. But they had died during it. So that carried him on to when he finally found the frickin' alliteration. He had found the hoop. It had only been 2 years, but he had to find a horse and take it through the woods up to the mountain and then run it off the cliff while thrusting his lance to get take the hoop off. That's insane. So of course a ton of horses died because he had to escort it through those haunted woods. So that took him 2 years to get the horse to do that and then run off the cliff willingly, which was super sad. You may be saying, that's insane. Why would they make that part of the test? I don't know. They're Catholic. There's insane shit that people do for religion all the time. This might not be any different. Anyways, back to the main story. That has been 20 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. I might go on about this for the rest of this night, so stick around for that. And as always, that was it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.